Hey everyone, Rarity Dash here, and it's time for another reaction request. And today we're going to be taking a look at another death battle, and it's a pretty interesting one. We had Mario vs. Sonic before, and now we've got Bowser vs. Eggman. So, yeah, this should be interesting. I think Mario won the one that I watched before. I mean, it's been years, but I seem to recall Mario winning. Bowser vs. Eggman, though, I don't know. At first glance, it kind of seems like a bit of brains versus brawn. With Eggman being just this masterful inventor, and of course Bowser's like this dragon that can grow to be gigantic. But I think Bowser is actually pretty smart too. And he has like some technology at his disposal. I don't know if there's really that big a gap, because I think just if it was pure brains versus brawn, you'd think brawn would win most of the time. And I don't doubt that Eggman probably is smarter than Bowser still. Bowser, I don't know. I think my money's still on Bowser to an extent. Though again, they gave the Mario vs. Sonic battle to Mario, so to even it out, they might want to be more skewed towards Eggman. I know they try to be unbiased, but I don't know. Sometimes you just want to make concessions, I feel like. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I feel like I'm a bit more invested in the Mario games, so I'm also a bit biased that way. I mean, I've played a couple Sonic games, but it's been a long time, and I've been made to react to a lot of Sonic content, so I guess I know a little bit more there. But, Bowser, I mean, I don't play as much Mario these days, but definitely been a bigger part of my life more consistently, I would say. Bowser is an interesting character. And just in terms of, I don't know. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I'm not going to really speculate too much more. I had the beginning of a thought, but I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. Let's go
This
ahead
battle is sponsored by Marvel Snap
and see what
and
they have to say.
PrizePicks.
Yeah, they both have crazy like armies too. That's another thing.
Bowser
I don't know how much we're going to be considering
Eggman.
The king of the Koopas and the baddest of badniks. And they're not alone.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
We are incorporating minions. And I feel like
the
that
Mushroom Kingdom.
skews things more
A peaceful
towards Eggman.
land of kindness, adventure, love.
Ah, boring. Move
I don't know
aside,
what
princess.
Goombla's gonna do
It's
to
time
any
This place
robot.
got way more awesome. Here comes King Koopa himself, better known as Bowser.
The moment this orphan star child was found by Kamek, it was clear Bowser would command the disparate outcasts of the Mushroom world, the Koopa clan.
Sadly, not everyone's born a toad, and they treat these critters like monsters, fated to a life of infinite jump farming for one-ups.
Oh.
Bowser
I guess you
wanted
can do
a
that. I never really
different
thought
world,
to do that,
But
but-
Princess Peach Toadstool would never allow the evil king's day in the sun. Her light was so bright, Bowser became infatuated with her.
So he turned all the toads into bricks and kidnapped her, putting their princess in another castle, and another, like 40 years of castles, only to be released if she agrees to marry him and his dad bod.
Yet he was foiled time and time again by those pesky Mario brothers. However, Bowser is nothing if not persistent.
Look at him! Dude's built like a brick house strapped to a saw trap. That spiked shell takes a lot of punishment. Not even the weight of a castle can scratch it, especially when he rolls up like a prehistoric Beyblade.
And the Koopa King doesn't just breathe fire and control lava, he commands nature itself.
Spitting meteors from outer space, beckoning the earth with a snap, inhaling torrents of wind, straight up calling down lightning. What else has he got?
Oh, just a little dabbling
He's got a lot
in
of tricks.
dark magic.
Hell
Okay.
yeah. wizard turtle.
The
And
original
I don't even know.
NES manual even
I definitely
describes
played
him
anywhere
as
near
a
all of that.
sorcerer king. Magic
Mario
is how he
games.
turned the toads into bricks, only countered by the princess's heart magic.
But that's not all the magic he's mastered. Telekinesis, creating perfect clones, reanimating his undead skeleton, and worse
Yeah,
of all,
that's something to
ruining
contend with.
every game of
Oh.
Mario Party. Hey, no,
Yeah.
I stole those coins fair and square.
Bowser spent decades hoarding treasures, coins, magic star rods, warships, clown cars, you name it. This is the same guy that created multiple flying castles fashioned after his own face.
Yeah, he's definitely got an ego on him. He's talked about having a 4-digit IQ, but I've seen this moron
Okay.
put death traps in his own backyard. A man after my own heart.
Despite his clumsiness, Bowser's charisma and leadership brought many to his side. Not enough to defeat Mario, but his army doesn't make it easy on the Red Plumber.
They're the most wicked band of misfits.
I mean,
this
neither of
side
these
World
two
8-4.
are known for
the
winning.
Koopa Troop.
That's-
An army spanning multiple
a thing.
territories across the Mushroom World and beyond.
Goombas, Koopas, the Troopas, and the others make up the infantry. Some with wings, some in shoes, and some even in race cars. They're the red shirts, first in and first out.
Piranha
Yeah.
plants, bloopers, and lakitus use their surroundings to get the jump on unsuspecting prey, by land, sea, or sky.
We'd be here forever jotting down the small fries. Booze, shy guys, sentient bombs with feet, and more.
It was imperative for Bowser to nurture a unit that covers their own vulnerabilities. For example, Kamek and King Boo both have magic, but Boo has battlefield control with illusions and destabilizing dimensions, while
So
Kamek
we're
focuses
counting
on
even
buffing
characters like King
allies,
Boo.
canceling enemy powers, summoning anything he desires.
Or swapping my items to screw up my Mario Party lead. Not again.
Speaking of items, most of the minions can use pretty much
This
any
has a
power
lot of
Mario
factors.
can.
We're counting like
Goombas
even
make
all these-
frequent use of Tanuki tails, and Bowser can really get into the cat role play. But as the Koopa Troop grew and grew, it started to feel less like an army and more like a family unit.
Oh, you mean like his kids, the Koopa
Oh yeah,
Lings.
yeah,
they're
you gotta have them.
What's
They
the
have their-
difference?
Good point. Bowser took them in and even trained them in dark magic.
So no one's as spoiled as his natural Nepo baby, Bowser Jr., captain of the Koopa Troop.
Spoiled is an understatement. Remember his escapades as Shadow Mario? He terrorized Delfino Plaza with literal evil paint. That whole debacle was basically his attempt at elementary school art class.
And I bet Bowser still has some on the fridge. But really, the king is very protective of his kids. If the fam's in trouble, he can will himself to transform into a giant kaiju, all to crush whatever bully's
Yeah.
talking smack.
Maybe a little overkill. Just one punch from Giant Bowser launched a castle.
So we're definitely
out of
gonna have a
orbit.
giant robot
Taking
versus
into account
kaiju
the
battle.
flight path and the scale of their universe,
that
Bowser's
should be
punch
pretty cool.
must have hit with a force of over 125 trillion tons of TNT. Considering how Yoshi punted poor Raphael the Raven so hard he exploded into a constellation of stars, this isn't even close to Bowser's full strength.
So don't bully his kid, especially if he falls into some of Bowser Jr.'s set of black paint. That stuff's scary.
Enough to unleash Bowser's Dark Fury, a form whose very steps cause widespread natural disasters.
Okay, seriously, how does Mario ever beat this guy? He's like Godzilla, Doctor Strange, and John Cena all in one big turtle.
We're
Well,
not
Mario's
getting the best
pretty
part.
cool.
Bowser's dark magic became so potent he eventually learned how to warp the very fabric of reality.
Anything the king imagines, he makes happen. He turned all of Yoshi's Island into a storybook. And remember those painted worlds in Mario 64?
Yeah.
He made those. And the staircase that goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And oh God, does anyone know how to BLJ?
He also stole ultra-powerful items like the Wonder Flower, which can mold reality like
mean, that's
Play-Doh,
something I don't
and
really
the
think
Dream
about, is the
Stone,
extent
which can
of
be used to
Bowser's
wish
magic.
someone out of existence.
But his most iconic thefts are those big shiny power stars.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Infant power stars,
That's
aka Lumas,
another reason
can
why I
become
think he might have
whole
the
galaxies.
advantage over
They also ferried
Eggman.
Mario across the universe in 3 seconds. That's 489 quadrillion times light speed.
Obviously, the Big Daddy Grand Stars are even crazier. Bowser used one to power his space kingdom, but then guess who showed up to ruin everything? It's a him!
And when the Grand Star was freed, it caused a chain reaction that destroyed the entire universe via a massive black hole.
Thanks, Space God, that Rosalina showed up to save the day.
Not that Bowser needed saving. He's been swallowed by another black hole and thrown into a star that went supernova.
Imagine if this crazy OP
Okay.
fire turtle had to fight himself. Oh, wait, he did, and he beat the hell out of him.
With all this power, it's no
great.
wonder he still hasn't conquered the Mushroom Kingdom. Perhaps it's because his visions of grandeur were never really what he sought. Surrounding him is a crew of outcasts and miscreants like him, ride or dies that can't be swayed against him.
Oh, are you saying he's secretly happy because he's got a big monster family now?
Yes, but also when they actually worked together, they legitimately conquered most of the known universe. So,
he's a baddie through and through who will teleport through space and time to show you what's what. Because he's no ordinary Koopa. Make way for the king!
Okay,
this battle is sponsored by Prize Picks.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. And
see how they
daily
describe
fantasy
Eggman.
sports is super easy to get into.
That's gonna be tough to beat.
That's right, Boomstick. No need to worry about going up against somebody who knows way more than you do.
All you gotta do is pick more or less on 2 or more players, and you're up for a shot to win big.
As someone who spends literally all of his time running numbers on anything and everything, I appreciate a system that takes a lot of the guesswork out and lets you actually win through skill.
They always do their ad
like
breaks
how they've got an
between
actual injury
the
insurance
breakdowns.
policy. As in, injuries don't ruin your lineup. It's crazy this isn't more common. It's already saved my butt for sure.
And withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. I can get my money in as little as 15 minutes.
Download the app today and use code DEATH to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup.
That's code DEATH to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup.
Prize Picks, run your game.
Citizens of Earth, lend me your ears. Imagine a world of endless possibility where people are free as the wind. Isn't it disgusting? Now imagine a better world, one with proper guidance and the technology to bring about
Lots of robots.
global peace.
But whiz, only a brilliant mind can make that happen.
Not just any brilliant mind, he's a genius at heart who knows the dangers within. He's Ivo Robotnik.
Dr. Eggman.
As a mad scientist myself, his story is my inspiration, just as Eggman's was his grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, who sought to create world peace through technology. But then his beloved granddaughter, Maria, was killed by the Guardian Unit of Nations, better known as...
Gun. They're freaking called G-U-N. Anyway, Lil Eggy grew up
Not
a
at
lonely
all
narcissist
subtle.
because all his family talked about was Maria this, Maria that. Boo-hoo!
Neglect and envy tainted Ivo's goals of following Gerald's footsteps. He distanced himself from his grandfather's legacy. Instead of bettering the world, he would conquer it to get the attention he deserved.
No, you mean crave. Desperately crave.
Tomato, tomato.
You just said it the same way twice.
He aimed to establish Eggman Land, a capital of science. And this paradise would have worked just fine if not for that blasted Sonic the Hedgehog.
For years, Eggman's plans literally blew up in his face. And he's a very sore loser.
But just like any good experiment, the doctor did more testing, seeking better results.
He's created plenty of knickknacks to terrorize the world with. A laser gun, a cloning ray, mind control cannons, a flying armada, typical evil scientist stuff.
Then there's the big ones. He invented a spatial displacement trap, which, while online, scatters a target's atoms across space. Oh, and then there's the metal virus, which transmutes organic tissue into living metal zombies. It's so deadly, it created a plague that nearly wiped out all life on Earth.
Shame Eggman never made himself immune to it. That's a whoopsie.
And when he's not duping you with decoys, he's riding in style with the Eggmobile. It's lightweight for maneuverability, but tough enough to withstand moon-sized explosions and even the center of a black hole.
I mean, it's kind of lame
both have
looking, but
histories
he
with
can
black
plug it into
holes.
big bad mechs like the Egg Walker or the Death Egg Robot, whose giant laser once obliterated 77,000 cubic meters of rock in an instant. That's like having an atomic bomb in your pocket all the time. Oh, okay, maybe this guy's pretty cool.
Eggman built machines for a long list of combat situations. Some look like knights, others use extraterrestrial sources like the Wisps, and then there's the orbital bases, like the Death Egg.
The reference is obvious, but Darth Vader's version is like a toy compared to the Death Egg, which can annihilate stars. Woof! A whole constellation gone in one shot.
That's not to say Eggman doesn't enjoy scrapping with blue hedgehogs himself. Enter the Egg Dragoon.
Hell yeah! The rawest of the battle mechs. It's got electric drills. It's got ice missiles. It's got a whole lot of bullets. My God, Wiz. I needed
a lot of
it.
weapons.
Don't
How
forget,
durable
Eggman
is it?
built all of these things himself. Maybe world domination is in his grasp yet.
One problem, Eggman's a turbo loner. No hobbies, no friends, no wife, no nothing.
Come on, he has friends. I mean, he's a
Is
feminist.
Bowser gonna win this with the power of
Okay,
friendship?
maybe not, but what about Infinite?
That'd be
Sure, they
interesting.
might have joined forces over a mutually sought revenge against Shadow, but it counts. Sort of. Who needs friends when you can build friends?
Obviously, Eggman has a tough time collaborating with others, so he just built his own army instead.
The Eggman Empire.
The Badniks are mass-produced foot soldiers, buzz bombers, crab meats, caterkillers, egg robos, and don't forget those cute little moto bugs. The Badniks may seem simple, but they're led by an elite, multi-talented unit. The hard-boiled heavies. Really leaning into the egg thing, huh?
The army has a wide variety of troops, even your classic comedy duo with Orbot and Cubot. They're Eggman's assistants and immense disappointments. Every genius has their duds.
Hey, at least they're not Scratch and Grounder. But that's why he's made top-notch bots modeled after the Sonic cast, like everyone's favorite robo-faker, Metal Sonic.
Metal Sonic has the most horsepower in the Eggman Empire. He has the moves and speed of Sonic and then some. He's had his rebellious phases, but Eggman's reprogrammed Metal to better follow his commands. Additionally, when upgraded to his Neo form, Metal Sonic could copy biological data, including unique powers
I
like
actually
Shadow's
know a bit
time
about
stop
this.
technique, Chaos Control.
He could even copy Silver's psychokinesis, and with enough chaos energy, he powers up into Super Neo
I'm
Metal
gonna watch
Sonic.
yesterday.
Though everything would change with the appearance of the Phantom Ruby. One of many trump cards at Eggman's disposal, the Phantom Ruby alters reality by manipulating perception.
Basically super OP illusions, but in Infinite's hands, it's a weapon of mass destruction. I don't know how illusions translate to body replicas, changing gravity, or making a fake sun, but go off, King!
And when used on the planet's consciousness, which is a thing, the Ruby granted Eggman the Lightman form. Yep, apparently
Okay.
Super Eggman is canon, though it is pretty complicated to manifest.
But the Phantom Ruby isn't the only souped-up gem Eggman has. He's used the Jeweled Scepter to make the world-shattering Egg Wizard. Then, on more than one occasion,
there's a bit
he's
of magic
effortlessly
here on this
gathered the
side, too.
super rare, super powerful Chaos Emeralds. You know, the things that power Super Saiyan Hedgehog.
Eggman built and built and built, and eventually, he built something that started to build on him. Sage was originally designed as a mere assistant, but through an alien encounter, she was granted actual sentience.
Sage is already super powerful, but now she's also super smart. She thought
Got
of
the
millions
AI
of
as
battle
well.
plans all at once to defeat the massive titans.
And you can barely remember where you put your dune bug.
I know exactly where it is. It's at the police impound. Thank you very much.
Sage was Eggman's saving grace. He had previously found machines with personality lacking, but Sage's great adequacy in serving her function provided Eggman with something that, for the first time, he'd hate to lose. In essence, a sort of daughter.
So, like any good dad, he gave her the keys to his car, his spaceship, and his orbital death ray. Hell, now she controls the entire army.
And this frankly unheard of trust from Eggman became crucial in defeating the End, a primordial entity so mighty even Supersonic struggled against it.
Their battle can only be described as peak fiction, because charged by 7 Chaos Emeralds, Supersonic's no joke.
The power of one emerald can shift continents. All 7 together can shift the universe.
And kill some pretty terrifying bosses, like Eggman's Time Eater, which ripped apart space-time like tissue paper.
In short, Chaos Emeralds give thoughts power. With them, Eggman's best machines can run indefinitely while matching the greatest powers ever seen. Like when 3 supers battled Solaris, who tried to destroy time itself. Solaris extended its chaos across multiple timelines in about 20 seconds, or 73 quadrillion times light speed.
It's funny though, while Eggman's smarts have sort of defeated Sonic here and there, he's pretty effective when he teams up with the Blue Blur to save the world.
Well,
of
recall how
course.
Professor Gerald was a good person before losing the granddaughter he loved. In Eggman's case, now that he has Sage, perhaps a similar story is playing out in reverse.
Nah, Eggy will always have a harebrained scheme behind his cufflinks.
So watch out, critters and plebeians of the world. He is the Eggman, and he's got the master plan.
I kind of feel like after that they probably
Wiz,
said
you
they're
gotta
going to
help
win.
me.
What happened now?
Oh, we got two.
I'm addicted to Marvel Snap.
Two
You mean
ads.
today's sponsor, the collectible card game? The one with everyone's favorite Marvel characters?
It's just such a fast-paced rush.
But yeah, after
Each
that,
game only takes like
I don't
3
know. I
minutes.
kinda feel like
and
we
the
set up
different
Eggman a bit
locations,
better.
card powers, and snap mechanic add so many layers of depth and strategy for a game that's so easy to get into.
Don't
So
forget
maybe
the
I'm wrong.
amazing 3D art.
Oh man, with all the new
Bowser
art
has a lot
variants
going
and
for him as
cards
well,
coming out
but-
every week, I can't stop playing it.
Sorry, can't help you. I'm addicted too.
No! Well, good thing it's super fun.
I know, right? I love my deck. It focuses on tactically placing low-cost cards, then boosting their power way beyond what's expected.
Oh yeah? Well, mine's got a big dinosaur. He's awesome. Oh, watch the teeth.
Download the Marvel Snap app, now available on the App Store, Google Play, and Steam.
Or visit marvelsnap.com to learn more. Just click the link below the like button.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the
There we
data
go.
through all possible.
Oh, screw you.
This battle is sponsored by Marvel and Steam.
Or visit.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run
Here
the
we
data
go.
through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Yeah, regardless, either way, this is going to be a cool fight. But I think probably Eggman. I think his arm is a bit more impressive. I mean, Bowser's is more loyal because they're actually...
To make an announcement. This territory
Not
is
all
now the
robots.
base for my
I mean, I guess in a way, Eggman's
land too. What a joke! I am Dr. Eggman, your new genius overlord.
Yeah.
Of this. Shut up, nerd! You call
Okay,
these
so
toys
it's
an
a decoy.
invasion force? Let's see Toads do better. That's a decoy, idiot. Impotent!
This power is without peer. It is the ultimate strength.
Okay, well, I guess that handles that. Gonna take out middle. Oh. We actually had a chance time.
All according to plan.
You've lost the battle before it has begun.
Excellent work as always, Beto. Ready to wrap this up, Sage?
We're not done yet.
Command.
You know what they say, the more the merrier. Showtime.
Really cool animation. Like, this is next level. Who animated this? This is probably the most impressive one I've seen from them. Yeah, probably gonna be it for Candace there. But it's a nice matchup though. Bowser Jr. is going next.
How dare you keep your hands off my...
Okay. Yeah, this is epic. Okay, yeah, dry Bowser.
Curses! Sage! Fire if it didn't! Wait!
Oh. Maybe I was wrong. Dry Bowser is a deciding factor that he can just reanimate? I guess so.
This war was not an easy one to win, which might seem surprising given how the Sonic series is not afraid to show how tough its cast is, while Mario's comes across as more cartoony.
But as it turns out, Bowser had everything he needed to take Chrome Dome down. Strap in, this one's a lot, so we'll break it down into 5 categories.
First up is physical stats. Bowser pretty handedly outmatched any of Eggman's usual mechs, like the
they're not that durable, Sonic.
The Death Egg robot could level cities. Bowser could punch a castle out of orbit.
The Death Egg could destroy stars, but Yoshi could match that level of power.
He
And Bowser's
did
strength is certainly above the green dinosaurs.
Smashes.
Plus, while both Bowser and Eggman's tech survived black holes, Bowser's was much larger.
So, he may win stats, but this could change with their powers. With so many items and minions, that could make all that a moot point.
Aside from power-up items, both could manipulate minds, create duplicates, and alter space-time. However, Bowser had a significant edge in having access to the majority of his abilities at all times.
Yeah, Eggman can do some crazy stuff, but only across different mechs, fortresses, or space bases. Bowser's all natural. He's got all his best powers built in, and he ain't even a robot.
Meaning he wins the war of attrition. He even had counters for battle enders like the metal virus and spatial displacement trap. Context matters for those weapons, and both backfired in the past. But more importantly, Bowser could simply reverse the effects with his transmutation magic. Conversely, most of Eggman's robots could get turned into, say, a frog or a block with no reliable way back. Bowser takes the edge in powers.
But definitely not for intelligence. Come on, you have a 4-digit IQ, Bowser? Really? That's cute.
I mean,
don't get me wrong.
I
Bowser's
think
not
he's
an
actually
idiot.
pretty smart.
Usually, just really, really clumsy. Poor fella.
Meanwhile, Eggman's an engineering genius who rarely ever gets bested by brains.
obviously.
Easy dub. Now, let's talk trump cards.
As in, items so powerful they could decide the entire outcome on their own.
The Phantom Ruby was super dangerous, but specifically targets perceptions. Unlike Bowser's Wonder Flower, which mucks up reality for real. The Ruby affected a whole planet, but the Wonder Flower had the power to alter the universe. Also, the Dreamstone's ability to wish anything out of existence would have no problem cleaning up Super Neo Metal Sonic or Time Eater.
Their most prized possessions was a tougher call. Together, the Chaos Emeralds can break the universe, but so can the Grand Stars. Arguably not as much given the Emerald scaling to Solaris, though Power Stars and Grand Stars are far more plentiful. Clearly, this is getting fairly abstract, and both had multiple options that could win the day instantly, so the safest bet is to call this category a tie.
Which means it's finally time to compare their armies. Eggman seems deadlier at first glance.
It does.
I mean, look at all those buzzsaws and rockets. Metal Sonic's speed and power alone could solo most of the Koopa Troop, but the Eggman Empire
All the
lacked
Goombas.
something Bowser had in spades. Teamwork and loyalty.
What we really didn't
Eggman is a
see in that
notoriously
animation
terrible team
was the
player.
Goombas
His
putting in
alliances
any
are
work.
practically guaranteed to fall apart.
Hell, in Sonic Generations, he could barely manage working with himself.
Eggman's army is designed to be controlled by just him. To Eggman, it's harder to command those with free will, hence his rivalry with the free-natured Sonic.
Meanwhile, the Koopa Troop follows Bowser because they actually like him. They train really hard to cover each other's weak points.
Giving them plenty of advantages as this war progressed, like battlefield control through King Boo's magic and Bowser Jr.'s paint. And since the Koopa Troop doesn't rely that much on technology, Sage's hacking potential
We didn't
had
even see the
little
other
use.
kids. Did we?
Also,
Like,
secret weapon.
focused on
Kamek
it.
is kind of busted, canceling Metal Sonic's
Yeah,
power
Kamek
copy,
played a bigger part
stealing
than
the
I
Phantom
expected,
Ruby, and
but
potentially
it
swapping
makes
the
sense.
Chaos Emeralds were huge game changers.
Add on that Bowser and his army can use any Mario power-up item, and they had millions, no, billions of combinations that the Eggman Empire just could not actively plan against. Even with Sage's millions of plans to take down the Titans, she thought them to be unbeatable, which Sonic proved was incorrect.
Just comparing their conquests makes it clear. The Eggman Empire took over the whole planet, but Bowser's troop conquered most of the universe.
Eggman was
That's a
no
good point.
pushover. His wit, power output, and ridiculous machines gave Bowser the biggest fight of his
Such a
life.
cool
but the
animation.
Koopa King's ludicrous strength, abilities, and united forces ultimately prevailed.
Eggman tried to poach the king, and now he's cracked and scrambled.
The winner is Bowser.
Next time on
Yeah,
Death
and the
Battle.
whole dry bones thing, that helps a lot too. Just being able to, even if you do take a fatal hit, you get to continue going. Who animated this? Moro? And Luis Cruz as the director. Well, great work to whoever these people are. Like that was I think the best visually I've ever seen from Death Battle. Just really cool. And I also think, like, just in general, this episode, I think they did a good job of selling me on Eggman, even though Bowser was the winner. Because I mean, I was leaning Eggman, I was leaning Bowser at the start, but I mean, they sold me like, no, I think Bowser's got his match here. Yeah, no, apparently not. Yeah, very entertaining one. I think this is a good episode. Yeah, I think the breakdown makes a fair amount of sense. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like this really... Like, when you think about all the magic on the side of Bowser, like, I do think that the typical impression of Bowser is just big, scary dragon that's physically strong and can breathe fire. But he's got a lot up his sleeve and just all these magical abilities. And matching that with science, you're not always going to come out on top, I feel like. Even if Eggman is the smarter one. Yeah, just there's a lot that Bowser can do that, yeah, you're just not going to have an answer for. So yeah, definitely a very good death battle. I really like this one. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.